Dear beautiful souls, let's speak about the thing that we usually don't speak about, especially in Zen Buddhism. Often it is said by many meditation teachers and Zen Buddhist teachers that in meditation we need to have no goal. Because otherwise, if you have a goal and your mind tries to find this goal and it creates some imaginary object that it tries to discover, what it will do, it will harden itself, your body will stiffen, and meditation actually does not really occur. However, not having a goal in meditation does not mean that there isn't one. And this sounds a little bit paradoxical, I get it. However, there is a goal in meditation. It is just not what you think the goal is. And that's the important part, because what we think what the goal is our ego's bias, and it will become the blockage in meditation. So if I think that there's some sort of object out there that I can attain that is called enlightenment, and I can look at it and see it, and it has dimensions, and I can grab it and make it my own, then I'm very confused, because it doesn't exist on this dimension of experience. This is a very low density of experience, so to speak, to think of it in such terms. But most human beings, they relate to the spiritual world in the same way they relate to the physical world, what they can perceive with their senses or their thought constructs and concepts. Well, there's something we need to understand about Zen Buddhism first to really address this. Zen Buddhism is, in a way, a counter movement to some of the major Buddhist traditions. And what do I mean by that? It doesn't mean that all these other Buddhist traditions are not valuable. They are tremendously valuable. And there are many beings who, through these traditions, have achieved high states of existence. However, the goal of Zen Buddhism was also an answer to a corruption issue. Well, the corruption issue that I'm speaking about is not necessarily based on the idea that Buddhist practitioners had ill intentions. It is simply that there are Buddhist sides that are very academic and scholastic. But this became kind of anachronistic, because Buddhism has to do with practice realization. It has to do with certain yogic exercises that bring you into a state of knowing. But knowing cannot be achieved conceptually. Even though the study of Buddhism is beautiful, the philosophy around it is beautiful, and one can spend many years going through all different scriptures and reading all these books and discussing them and having philosophical debates about them, this is not the essence of Buddhism. And that is why Zen Buddhism exists as a Buddhist practice without fluff. Very little study, very little debate, mostly sitting, mostly meditating, because this is the way of getting to an understanding in the most direct and fastest way. So this is why it's kind of a counter movement. So then Zen Buddhism is designed to get you past the mind. That means the mind is often not entertained. It's not, how can I say, we're not entertaining what the mind wants, because this is not helpful. So therefore, the idea is, if you think of a goal in Buddhism, it's kind of like you get tunnel vision. There must be a goal. And then you harden in meditation. But the goal is to merge with Buddha nature. The goal is to have the illusions drop away. The false identification with body, mind, and personality, have it drop away. So only original mind, which is the big mind or the universal mind or the Holy Spirit or however you want to call it, that remains, and all these other lenses that just drop away. However, if you try to find this goal that Zen Buddhism as a method wants to assist you realize, you suddenly use those lenses that you're actually supposed to drop. You use the mind that you have trained to think in a certain way for decades, and suddenly you're trying to figure this thing out by analysis, and it hardens you and makes you stiff, and it makes it actually much harder to access what the Buddhist practitioners are actually speaking about. So then, those lenses that we see reality through, they don't work for this type of practice. So we try to get you into the direct experience of it, and therefore we need to tell you have no goal, so you don't use those lenses, so you don't harden your mind, so you soften your gaze, so you soften your body, so you soften your attitude. Because when people hear about a goal, they try to concentrate it, they try to bring it about, yeah? And yeah, you can see it by the forehead. That's how they said in school, that's how they said in university, because everybody told them to concentrate. But for many people, concentration is a bit of a traumatic experience because they associate it with, subconsciously, they wouldn't even label it that, but they might associate it with a lot of abuse through people in authority who told them what to concentrate on, and if they wouldn't concentrate on that, there would be consequences. And if they can't concentrate on it, well, then they're in trouble. Then they can't avoid the consequences or the pain. And you cannot approach meditation practice like this. It is not that type of goal. It's not a worldly goal. It's not a goal that you can achieve through hardening yourself. You can only achieve it through softening the mind, through letting go, through surrender, through overwriting the fight or flight response, through not thinking of a goal. Because if you think of a goal, the goal that is actually there for you to be realized, well, you already have a bias about it, now you can't see it anymore. So therefore, please be aware, there is a goal, but it's not the goal that you think of. And the goal that you think of, you need to drop. Contemplate about this, my friends. Be well.